Hey, church family, I'm excited to be here with Steve and Vicki Duval, and they lead an incredible group that's called Boundaries, and it's life-changing. If you haven't been through it, and we encourage you to go through it, we're going to tell you a little bit about it, but the Bible's clear about how to set up boundaries in our life to protect our families and our relationships, and we want to tell you a little bit about it. These guys are great at leading it. So, Vicki, can you tell me a little bit about boundaries and what people could expect?
Okay. The Boundaries class, Stephen and I took about 15 years ago, and we learned a lot about how to set up healthy boundaries. And the reason that I took the class 15 years ago is because I was in a crisis situation with our youngest adult daughter, and the class totally changed my life. It, short of my relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, it was totally life-altering.
That sounds like something that numerous people could go through. You know, as our even kids younger and kids older, things happen in our lives, and we need to set up boundaries. And Steve, tell me a little bit about the class, the format of it. Can you tell me a little bit how it works?
Sure. It's a class that involves a textbook, worksheets, 8 videos that were recorded by John Townsend and Henry Cloud. And there's a lot of information that we'll be sharing with others through the class. But in advance, everybody needs to know that there is a lot of stuff to digest in this course. And so it's not unusual for people to want to take it more than once.
I've had some experience with Cloud and Townsend, and they're great. I actually got to see them at a conference one time, and they were able to share, so it was good to see. So tell me, you said 15 years ago you took it. Tell me about your initial experience with the class, and what did it do for you?
Okay, my initial experience with the class was exceedingly hard. Because I didn't necessarily agree with some of the principles, because I had developed some really bad boundary habits through my growing-up years and my young adult years. And so needless to say, I definitely was one of those ones that had to take the class numerous times so I could understand and implement the biblical principles in boundaries. The crisis that I was in at that time was with our youngest daughter was not an easy fix. My boundaries were so bad that I was destroying our relationship. And so it was really hard for me from the worst of our relationship, the most broken part, to where it was thriving and healthy took 7 years. So it was really very hard, but it was so worth it. And I learned I couldn't change her. I could only change me. And so in altering the way that I interacted with her, changing my habits, and through God's help, her heart softened to us, and she allowed us back into her relationship so we could continue to work on a godly, healthy relationship.
That's good. God is so good when we stay true to His Word. And I heard you say a couple things in there, and I know I've experienced it in my life. Sometimes we're our own worst enemy.
Yes.
We think we know better than God, don't we?
Yeah.
And so we make our own rules, and when they don't work out, we're like, well, why?
Yeah.
And but if we go through what God tells us to do and how to set those boundaries up, it's amazing what He can do in those boundaries. Yeah. So, as if someone's thinking about this, you know, hey, I like what I've heard. In closing, why should someone take this?
Well, I tell you what, we love facilitating the class because we enjoy sharing the biblical truth that really comes out, you know, through the Boundaries program, and we like to put that in the hands of others so that they can go and set the healthy boundaries in their lives, which really, and it shows you how to do that in a biblical way, and that's the joy I particularly get out of it, and I know that Vicki does too.
Yeah. I love facilitating the Boundaries class, and I would love for people to take it because we would love to share our journey, our boundaries journey with them so that they can see the changes that we made, not just to help our daughter's relationship with us and our relationship with each other, but every relationship in our life.
Yeah, it's so true. Sometimes when you're going through situations like this, you feel like you're the only
Yeah.
one going through it. It's unique to me. That's it. No one else is experiencing what I'm experiencing. And I love your heart to help others go through maybe what you guys have already experienced, and you can pour that into them and allow them to see they're not the only ones that have had this problem, and there are answers for
Yes.
it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to encourage people to take boundaries, and we want you to take boundaries. We offer it a few times every year. We make that readily available on our website. So if you go to our support group on our website and look for boundaries, you'll find information on how to sign up for the group and join Steve and Vicki each and every Sunday morning when they run it, and have your life changed and set those proper boundaries up in your life.